Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Puddle Glum's Music Collection. My name is Marty Phillips, and we're going to talk today about Resurrection Band on the Star Song label. So Resurrection Band started, actually they started in 1972, and they put out a demo in 74. Music to Raise the Dead actually put out a couple demos, 74, but you know, they were just on cassette. They hadn't had a full studio album yet. They tried, but of course the church was not accepting rock music at the time, and you know, a lot of the non-Christians didn't want to hear rock and roll with Christian lyrics. So what do? You know, you're kind of stuck there. They're one of the forerunners of the hard, heavy rock, kind of precursor to metal bands in the Christian music persona there. There were Christians that became saved out of the drug culture and whatever, and wanted to tell people about it in, you know, the kind of music that they could relate to. But the church was not accepting that, and so they were kind of stuck in this area where they really couldn't do anything. And Resurrection Band is known kind of as the forefathers of, you know, the Christian metal, Christian rock scene. But, you know, there were others before it. You know, there was Agape, there was, you know, Petra was doing some pretty heavy stuff in 76, and they started around 74 too. But, you know, when Rez came out with Awaiting Your Reply, it was just like, it was done very professional. It sounded real good. It was kind of, you know, and they were using music, playing music similar to Led Zeppelin, Jefferson Airplane, Black Sabbath, that type of thing. But you know, they weren't accepted, so they couldn't get anybody to really take them till 1978. So 1978 came around, and they did Awaiting Your Reply. Awaiting Your Reply was done on $8,000 donated by somebody for the band. They stayed locked in a studio for 2 weeks till they got it done. And you know, Glenn always talks about, man, we're, you know, just in the studio for 2 weeks straight. And I come out, the sun's coming up. I don't even know what day it is. What day is it? Well, it's Easter Sunday. So Resurrection Band finished their first album on Easter Sunday, which is kind of cool. And of course, you know, they shopped around. Nobody would take it because nobody wanted to touch it. Star Song was a small independent label that were like, well, what can we lose? It's already been paid for. They did all the artwork. They did the music. We just have to put it out there. So they took a chance on it. And basically the first two Rez albums pretty much built Star Song. According to Tom Cameron, they never saw a dime from Star Song with those albums, but it did bring them notoriety, and it got them noticed. And so yeah, of course the cover for Ready to Reply was a little controversial, and a lot of stores, like in my area, wouldn't put it out in the front, but you know, it still sold pretty well for, you know, such an oddity. But I have it right here. So this is Resurrection Band, Awaiting Your Reply. The cover was done, artwork by Janet Cameron. The inside layout was, for the gatefold, was Dick Randall. And here's the Star Song label that we all knew back then in the old days. So there's a Star Song label that we were familiar with back then. They also redid some Phil Keaggy glass harp stuff, and Star Song became very big. They actually took on Petra later. Here's the cover that was kind of controversial for back then. The bubble-haired lady. And this is the gatefold here. And this was 1978 for you know, a bunch of Christians. It was pretty radical, and you know, you just look at this and go, man, this is pretty cool for an underground band. You know, that there they are at the in Chicago. So they're there. So they did that one, and then Star Song had them do another one, and then they went to Light Records. The other one was, of course, Rainbow's End. And Rainbow's End had the song Africans on it, which was the first song recorded by, full year before Peter Gabriel did his song about apartheid. There's a story Glenn always tells about, I think he took the lyrics and he ran over to the South African embassy and shoved them under the door for Africans. But anyway, there's the back cover. There's Rainbow's End. And what was cool about this, you know, you could take this out. There's the windows. You could change them around. You have different artwork there, and then you can put this in. If I can do it without breaking anything. You can have different windows in it. So there you go with the other windows. And inside they had two different things you could put in the windows. So that was kind of cool. Especially for a Christian group at the time. This was 1979. This one had the old Star Song logo like that, but then when they reprinted it a little later. The Star Song had a different logo at that point. So this is the one with the different logo. That one had the original, and then I have one with the other Star Song logo that's all like colorful. There's that one. So yeah, those were the two that were off of Star Song. Now each one of these has a lot of Led Zeppelin feel to them. They also have a little Jefferson Airplane feel to them. They also have a little Sabbath feel to them. The first song that starts off with Waves is definitely a Black Dog sounding Led Zeppelin song, except with harmonica, and then Glenn and Wendy do vocals back and forth. But there's some really cool deep tracks on it, like Death of the Dying, and there's just a lot of cool stuff on both of them. Of course, on Rainbow's End, you have Midnight Sun and Skyline, Paint a Picture, which almost has kind of an Aerosmith feel to it or a Bob Seger feel to it. Rainbow's End was amazing. Kind of has a little bit of a, I don't know, I always felt that was kind of a little Sabbathy, Ozzy sounding song. But, you know, everybody has their own feel about that stuff. Concert for a Queen, heard it at many weddings. Sacrifice of Love, I thought was a great song on this that Wendy sings. The Wolf Song, definitely Zeppelin influenced, and Every Time It Rains, good acoustic ballad there. And of course, you're waiting to reply. What can you say about that? I feel like that was the first real hard rock, old school metal album done by Christians. I really feel that about Awaiting a Reply. So those are the two on Star Song. Star Song got them going, and you know, it was an amazing time during the Jesus movement, and this was kind of going towards when Jesus movement was started changing into CCM, and more kinds of music were coming out there. But I used to play this for people, and they'd be like, "Wow, that's a band of Christians," and you know, and the lyrics are just very upfront on these two, Rainbow's End and Awaiting a Reply. A lot of the lyrics are very upfront. Later on, they would do a little bit of, you know, the social stuff was like with, you know, Africans and different things. But, you know, later they would put more social content into it. But these were very much evangelistic. A lot of it was in your face. But it was really done with kind of lyrics that could relate to somebody that wasn't a Christian. And that's what I liked about it. And I think that's what a lot of people liked about Rez Band. They were different that way. So that's the Star Song years, and I just wanted to go over that with you. Later on, we might do the light years of Rez Band on the Light record label. Yeah, so thank you. Have a good night.